Peace and love, beautiful people. What is happening? It's the Chocolate Maverick doing what he does best, being a little bit more of a maverick. Matter of fact, it's too windy right here. Let me just get on up in the car. Because this one is something that I know some light workers, some believers, some bridge builders, or even just people trying to do the right thing need to hear. Especially before they pursue this path of really trying to do a lot of light work and trying to save others outside of yourself. I want to bring up the inherent risk of saving other people. And I pray that this reaches your heart, it touches your mind in a way that makes you think. And above all, it gives you a chance to really contemplate whether you want to pursue this path or not. And if you do, go all in. Go all in, but know this inherent risk because it's no joke. It's one I wasn't really warned too much about, but now that I'm here, I feel the need to share it. Because there's a inherent risk of saving people as lifeguards. In their lifeguard training, when it comes to saving a drowning person, as cruel as it sounds, they're actually trained that if the person is not working with them, if they're being uber resistant, that they actually have to pull away from the drowning person and surface the air and try to possibly take another time again. But they actually have to literally, if a person that is drowning is making it so they are about to drown, they have to pull off and unfortunately trust that something better is going to come, but they can't kill themselves trying to save a drowning person because it's already bad that one person drowning could possibly die, let alone two people dying for the sake of trying to save another. Now, there's no right or wrong in this. I honestly truly believe one of the biggest things that is plaguing mankind is our desire to always classify things as right and wrong. And the reality of it is that person's life that's drowning is just as important as the lifeguard's life too. So there's really no right or wrong in the situation. But I wanted to bring this up as an illustration because this is what it's like also to try to save people that are drowning in their own sorrows, people that are drowning in their own bad habits, people that are drowning in maybe say abusive relationships, and you see it and you love them and care for them enough to want to intervene. You feel like maybe you have the knowledge, you have the strength, or you just have the love to want to just put your hand in the water and pull them out. It's a beautiful thing. Personally, I have the energy, I have the light, and I have the love to keep putting my hand down in the water. And I'm going to be frank about it. I almost get drowned every single time because I'm inherently a light worker. I'm full of so much positive love and energy that I can come in around in a negative environment, be around negative people, and they won't completely drain me of all my positivity. It may really bring me down a little bit, but it won't completely drain me of my positivity. When I get out of the moment or when I escape the space, I'm able to recenter and get back to my intrinsic nature of positivity. But not everyone has that ability. But there are some people that have the heart to want to keep jumping in. They want to keep saving. But sometimes maybe they're getting their feelings hurt, or maybe they're feeling drained, or they feeling like the person that they're trying to save is not appreciative, or the person that they're trying to save is making it so much harder on them to help. I definitely want to remind you, you got to forgive the people you're trying to save because one, you're not in the water. So it's really hard to really see what they experience when they're drowning. You know what I mean? The water's not flowing up your nose, it's not flowing down your throat. So you're not the one that's immediately feeling the way that they're feeling. You may think you know, but truly only of the person that's really losing their life as they're drowning in their own sorrows really understand what it feels like. No one knows the pain of your heart like you do, right? So it's the same for other people. But the thing about it is, I do believe we need more people that are not self-sacrificial, but are willing to take on this inherent risk, that are willing to stick their hand in the water knowing that it could be possible that they might get pulled down in. I have a lot of people that I care for that are in situations I can easily chop it up to, bad decision making. I can easily chop it up to maybe they're just doing it to themselves. But the reality of it is, I don't think anyone really brings pain to themselves on purpose. Our literal mind is literally programmed to either take us, is programmed to take us away from pain. So when things are bringing us towards it, that means it's going against its natural order of processing information. It could be pain, it could be emotional pain, it could be trauma. It could be so many different reasons why a person is the way they are. But I wanted to bring this up for the bridge builders, for the light workers, for the ones that are out there trying to save. Even if you're, I guess, even on religious extent, if you're a pastor, you're trying to get people saved. But this is more for just good-hearted people that maybe are called to be light workers, or feeling like they're called to be the ones to keep putting themselves out there for others because they have the capacity to hold themselves together and still do that. When we need you, we love you. It's so hard to be you. I'm learning myself. It is so hard to fulfill this role, but we're needed. But I think it'd be easier if we remembered that we got to find a way to stick our hand in the water while still being planted above ground, in the sense of we got to find our balance of being able to stick our hand in the water and have enough strength to not be pulled down by their panicking, by their immediate danger that they're experiencing. And I really want you to keep that thought process of lifeguards, saving someone drowning in your mind, because that's the best depiction when someone's in depression or someone's going through a radical change in their life and they're unable to handle the anxiety. It's the same amount of pressure. They feel like life is closing in on them. So if you can understand that no one is just, I mean, there probably are some people out there that really just are drama queens, drama kings. They just really like to get the attention, but not everyone in the world is like that. And don't assume that these people are like that for a very intentional purpose. Sometimes maybe that's the only way that they get people to come around. You know what I mean? Maybe everyone rejects them and no one takes care of them, and no one cares or looks after them until they're in trouble. They're not really thinking about the cry wolf aspect, but it's probably the only way they're getting attention. So it's very imperative for us to be aware of the people we're trying to help, but more importantly, be grounded ourselves and enough power, have enough power in ourselves. And if we honestly know in that moment where we're feeling like we want to jump in and we know we're not centered or grounded, or we don't got enough power within ourselves, we got to sometimes call a spade and say, in this moment, as much as I want to help, I don't have it in me to do what it is that's necessary. And I'm not a bad person because of it, because if I could, I would. You got to remind yourself you're not a bad person because you can't help everybody. I honestly don't believe it's probably our job to help every single person. I'm a believer that we're all going to help the people that we can. And when we keep trying to help more people, there are probably more people we can help, but we're not always going to get every single victory that we wish. We're not always going to help every single family member we wish we could help. We're not always going to be able to help every single friend in need. Sometimes it just is what it is. Don't beat yourself up about it. Keep getting stronger, because the stronger you become, the more I'm sure these things, opportunities will come past you and you'll be able to effectively help them without even it affecting you internally at all. But I think if we're going to pursue this path, pursue inner stillness, pursue a deep level of self-love and a deep level of self-trust. I personally believe a relationship with the Creator is absolutely necessary if you're going to perform this role, but to each his own. You can do whatever you want in your life. But I just want to speak about the inherent risk and some things to consider that you can help yourself with. And just, if you ever need a reminder, just think about what lifeguards are trained to do. They're trained to save. They're literally empowered to save. They're trained. They're given the physicalities. But the reality of it is, even in their job responsibilities, they got to be careful not to drown themselves. Because maybe one lifeguard down, that lifeguard maybe was meant to save 5 more lives the next few days. But if that person went down right then and there and they got a gap to fill, they probably got to... It's just a lot of things to it. But just understand that you want to try to help without drowning yourself, if you can help it. And if you find yourself drowning with them, don't blame them. You were trying to do a great thing, and it just so happened that the weight of their situation was more than your strength in that moment. It does not mean you're weak. It does not mean they're weak. And it just means that they really got a lot of weight, and it maybe need more than one person to pull them out the water. Not saying that you can always find a partner, but I'm just saying, don't take the weight of I couldn't on. That's not fair to you, especially when you're trying to do something out the goodness of your heart. That's not fair to you. That's not fair to you at all. Keep doing the best you can because that's the best we can do. But above all, also keep an understanding that you just can't save everybody. You just can't save everybody. It's just the way it is, family. So peace and love. Please, I earnestly hope that you receive this message, especially those bridge builders, peacemakers, light workers that are called to this timeline to do great things, save people, and ultimately bring the consciousness to a better place of love. It's a heavy road we're on taking, and it's not going to be easy at all. But I really believe we just got to really strengthen ourselves the best we can, stay connected with the divine, and do the best we can to keep doing good, family. We need you. I appreciate you. I don't even know what you're doing or who you're doing it for, but just the fact that you're doing it, I appreciate you. I love that you took on this role, and I continue to pray for you all literally on a daily basis because I know we truly are trying to do our best. Peace and love, family. The Chocolate Maverick stepping in with something that is a little bit more in the Maverick lines, a little bit more tailored towards build, people that are really out there trying to do the light work. But you know who you are, and I pray that you receive this love in perfect timing. Peace and love, family.